For you today. Big, big show. We have a great show. I'm looking forward to getting into some crazy beef drama with Dana White. Man, they said that they're going to announce the White House card on Saturday, which is 2 days from when I'm making this. And there's so much beef going on right now because Dana White's got a big problem with Eddie Hearn because he stole Eddie Hearn's like #1 client or whatever, and Eddie Hearn's now got Tom Aspinall. We're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into. I believe Chael Sonnen is wrong. He's been making predictions about the card at the White House. He's big wrong, and I have some reasons to believe what I believe. I'm sure he's got some inside sources, and I have some inside sources, and I believe that he is either dead wrong or he is trying to misdirect people from what's actually going on. But either way, he's wrong. So if he's publicly predicting it and that's his take, well, that take is not accurate. Also, just in general, he tends to pick whoever's going to lose in the fight as the winner. And then, so if you gamble against him, you win a lot. Not gambling advice, guys. Okay. And I'm going to address the fact that some hater said I don't look into the camera enough. Okay. The camera's right here. All right. We're also going to get into the fact that the rumor is Conor is in negotiations right now. And see, the reason why I don't look in the camera all the time is because I have myself on the screen, right? Because I just put my iPhone up, right? I'm like, let me get this cracking, right? I can either wait till it's perfect, have the perfect studio built, or I could just hop on and get live with you guys, you know? And I would rather, I'm a man of the people, okay? So I'm going to hop on the live, right? So I'm looking at myself right now. So when this plays back, it looks like I'm looking off camera. Right now, I'm looking at this little green light on my iPhone right next to the camera. So I'm going to focus on that more to address the hater, even though he'll never find out because I blocked his ass because he said it in a rude manner. You gotta come to me with some manners. You know what I mean? Some polite energy, some like constructive criticism. You know what I mean? It says good vibes only. Okay. If it's not good vibes, we're not about it. All right. So, furthermore, the big Conor negotiation is happening. And there's some pretty solid sources on that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into, man, the influencer beef of all beefs, Andrew Tate versus Sneako. Sneako is still going hard on Andrew Tate. There's been allegedly a $500,000 offer made to Sneako. He declined it, and then they've made another offer, $1 million, and it's actually more than $1 million because it involves points, which is like, you know, percentage of the pay-per-view buys. We're going to get into that. That one's freaking nuts. There's a rumor, speaking of the influencers, there's a rumor that Clavicular has been jester gooning. And dog, big news. I told you it was a big show. Okay? CLAPS jester gooning? Is this really happening, Clav? Okay, we're going to get into all that. I love Gen Z. I love the Zoomers. I find all this stuff hysterical and amazing and amusing. So we're going to get into CLAPS jester gooning allegations. Also, Felony flew into town. He had his first sparring today, so we sparred several rounds. And I'm hearing that this next BKFC win might put him into title contention for the BKFC belt. We're going to get into that, you know. I can't help it, man. Felony started hanging out with me. He saw the belt. He wants a belt to match the belt, you know what I mean? For the bros, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into that. Big Felony Charles Bennett rumors. All right, yeah, we got, fuck, dude. I might not even get into this in today's show. We might not have enough time, guys. We might not have enough time, right? My girlfriend is a big-time TikTok influencer. She's getting millions and millions of views on her videos. They're paying her like a G every TikTok. She's editing in the other room because she's a multifaceted genius. And, you know, I don't even know if I want to get into this last subject, which is my ex-roommate who was a Hooters girl. She's in Power Slap. right? So my former roommate is power slapping, right? I told you guys the other day that a lot of these female MMA prospects just get to a certain point in MMA prospectdom, and then there's a power slap offer, and they just straight over to power slap. So we'll get into that if we have time, guys. I'm not saying it's the best subject to talk about women slapping each other, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's happening and it's controversial and it's what the people want, and I'm a man of the people. So maybe we'll get into that. Maybe I'll tell you some scandalous ass stories about how women manipulate men, and having, her as a roommate, seeing her manipulate desperate, gullible dudes was pretty wild to see it firsthand. That, enlightening. I'm here to let you guys know what's going on in the world. So we got a big show, guys. We got a big show. We're going to get into all that. And like, comment, and most importantly, hit the subscribe, and tap the notifications. That way you know when I'm going live, so you can live chat with me, because I would rather have this be a conversation rather than a monologue. We can have a dialogue. That's what I would prefer. Dialogue, not monologue. Right now I'm monologuing. I'm okay with that. I can do this. I can do this all day. I can go on and on and on, and in the cage, on the YouTube live, back to back, right? So today we got into some good sparring. We had the owner of Fight Circus with us. Shout out to Fight Circus. He was getting rounds in. Doc Ock was getting rounds in with Felony Charles Bennett, helping him get ready for his fight. For those of you guys who don't know, you may see Doc Ock on Twitter/X, and you might think that he's just posting fake videos, or, trying to stun on you guys with like millions of dollars in silver and gold bars, or, sky-rise views of oceans and different city, private jets. You might think that, but that's all real. And he does get down, and he can't put hands on you. So shout out to Fight Circus. This is the banned from TV Felony Charles Bennett mugshot with the Cash App. Guys, hit the Cash App. I'll hold it up. That's Felony's Cash App, guys, okay? We're not playing games, right? This money goes directly to Felony Charles Bennett. Felony wore it out like this. He wore the white version. We had to put red tape through the Fight Circus. BKFC was not having it. This shirt has been banned. The only way to get it is from the Fight Circus store. You can hit me up on King David MMA on Instagram. I'll hook you up with the link. We're building a whole freaking empire right now. Fight Circus, home of the freak show fights, guys. Furthermore, I'm drinking a Zevia. You're like, dude, what time is it in Vegas? It's like, I don't know, 10:30, 11 p.m. I just finished training. Why on earth would I drink 120 milligrams of caffeine in such a delicious beverage? Well, you answered your own question. It's because it's delicious, and I want them to pay me some money. So this is me saying drink Zevia because I love Zevia. I would love it if they did a King David edition XL. 333 milligrams of caffeine. The big boy up in here. And, so we're getting that sponsorship. Let's go. All right. I want to be the most sponsored YouTuber athlete on the planet. All right. So I like to get money, and I want to show you guys how to get some, man. That's why I'm doing a couple different things for you. Thing number one, if you know a gym owner and you're like, man, this guy's a really good coach, you send them to Studio Millions. I will pack their gym. I have it all laid out. It's all templated out. Every landing page, every ad, I've done $2 million at just one location, $2 million in sales in 18 months in one location when I took over the marketing for one local gym. And I packaged it as a business in a box, and I just hand it over to them. You know what I mean? Just hand it over to them. They'll love you for it. It'll help them out. It'll pack their gym. And I help them do it in a way that's sustainable and stress-free. It's all systemized. It's all automated as can be. And you hook them up with that at Studio Millions, dude. You're the top. You're the number. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm not saying they're going to give you a black belt. I'm just saying they're going to love you. That's all I'm saying. Okay. You got to get your own black belt on your own credentials, right? But if you want your coaches to pay special attention to you, maybe you do a little something for them. You send them to Studio Millions. Okay. Enough with that. I'm also doing a new freaking brainwashing course called Godlike Confidence. It's how I got a pro MMA title at 44 years old. It's how I won 5 professional MMA fights after the age of 40. It's because I brainwashed myself. I got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, brainwashed myself to get that. Super, super straightforward. I went from 242 pounds to 150 pounds because I have godlike confidence. I want to give you godlike confidence. I'm putting it in a course. You can get 90% off if you pre-order. Hit me on King David MMA on Instagram. I will hook you up with a payment link. We'll hop on a call. We'll address your issues. We'll take you from that level of confidence you're at to like unbreakable confidence. Man, the number one skill in life, women, dating, relationships, business, employment, money, fighting, fitness, health, all stems from confidence. I have the game plan: connect to God, connect to yourself, realize that we're spiritual beings, channel that energy through you. I've got it step by step to brainwash you so that you feel like, dude, you can walk through walls. Anyways, and if you want to get paid to post like I get paid to post, like my YouTube mentor gets paid to post, he's making 83 G's a month. I'm not making that quite yet. I'm on my way there. You know what I mean? Zevia energy. My girlfriend's getting paid $1,000 a TikTok. There's a very, very templated game plan that we're going to give you for that as well. I'm going to teach you about that if you just hit me up and say paid to post on Instagram. But now that we paid the bills, let's get into tonight's big show, y'all. All right, so first things first, the big news: Dana White, big beef with Eddie Hearn. Dana's trying to announce the White House card. Dana's trying to give you guys amazing news that the card is finished. And on Saturday, the big announcement is coming, what everybody's waiting for. Will Jon Jones be there? Who's Jon Jones going to fight? Is Conor going to be there? What's going to happen? And instead of this being the talk of the MMA community, man, salty ass Eddie Hearn went and signed Tom Aspinall, bro. And now he's tweeting about it. Man, Eddie Hearn signed Tom Aspinall because Dana White, he did it to get revenge on Dana. Okay. This might be the dumbest move I've ever seen between a promoter trying to get back at another promoter. Dana is the GOAT. I'm biased. I feel like Dana saved the country and the planet when he went first during the lockdown and UFC came back, and then it set the precedent for other sports to come back. And then because those other sports were back and you could see people in the crowds, you were like, wait, maybe the lockdown is fake news. Anyways, I think Dana saved like the planet from like global totalitarianism, who knows what else, right? But so I'm biased in saying this. And Eddie Hearn is he's not pretending. He's implying that he signed Tom Aspinall. Like Tom Aspinall's, the headlines are reading like Eddie Hearn stole Tom Aspinall from Dana, or that Dana released Tom Aspinall, and now Eddie Hearn signed him because Dana White signed Eddie's client, right? Stole him from Eddie. $15 million for Conor Benn, and now Eddie's firing back. He's clapping back at him. He signed Tom Aspinall. Well, guess what? First things first, for all the pencil neck geeks in the cheap seats like Ariel Helwani and Luke Thomas, freaking nerds, Eddie Hearn had a right to match, so nobody stole anybody. Dana made an offer because Dana got money from the Saudis who want to see Conor Benn box. They want a super fight, and they're like, we'll put the money up for it. And Dana's like, okay, well, if you guys got the money, I'll facilitate the deal. Boom, got the dude, right? Offered him some money. Because he was signed to Eddie Hearn, Eddie Hearn could have matched the offer. Eddie Hearn said no. He chose not to match the offer. He declined. And now he's coming out trying to bang on Dana, right? Dana's calling him a pussy. Man, insults are flying, right? And Eddie Hearn put out a press release, I guess, today that says he signed Tom Aspinall. Well, guess what? He signed him to like a management deal, right? So he didn't sign him as like, I'm starting an MMA promotion and Tom Aspinall is going to fight for me. It's like, no, I'm a business advisor to Tom Aspinall, which I hope he paid Tom Aspinall well, because if he continues to beef with Dana, this is not going to go well for Tom Aspinall being signed to the UFC. It's like, dude, why, if you want to help this dude, why would you upset his boss? And I get that his boss may have upset you by offering your client money, right? And you stuck with the dude. You stuck with him when he tested positive for Clomid twice in 5 weeks, right? Back-to-back failed drug tests. You stood by him for that when he said that it was because he was eating eggs. That's why he's failing drug tests, that the drug is designed to clear steroids, right? You stood by him for 10 years. You stood by him since his pro debut. And now you're mad Dana handed him a bag, a $15 million Saudi Arabia money bag, essentially, right? Like, okay, I get it. But, like, you're not, hey, maybe Eddie Hearn knows something I don't know. But if you're going to go in there and start demanding things and negotiating on behalf of Tom Aspinall, it might make it harder for Tom to work with Dana, might make it hard for Tom to work with the UFC. I don't know, man. I don't know. We will see how it goes. They got big beef. Dana called him a pussy. And, you know, we got, you know what else we got? We got Chael Sonnen, right? Chael Sonnen's also talking about the White House card. More drama, right? He believes that the fight at the White House, let me speak properly. He believes that the fight at the White House will be, this is what he's alleging, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Now, he's wrong about that. But I believe the reason why he's saying it is because Dana is in negotiation with John Jones to fight Alex Pereira, and Chael is coming out to help Dana promote a narrative that, hey, John, bro, if you don't sign this, the fight's going to pass you by and they're just going to go with this other fight, which they probably would do. That's probably real, but that doesn't mean that that's the actual fight, right? That's the incentive fight to get John to sign to fight Alex Pereira, right? So the fight, in my humble opinion, is going to be John Jones, Alex Pereira for some form of special BMF belt, some big dog BMF, White House BMF, heavyweight BMF, absolute division BMF. And it's going to be John Jones, Alex Pereira, headline in the White House. Conor's not going to be on the card. Conor is involved in negotiations right now, and he's coming out and kind of stating that. And the rumor is that Conor will not be fighting on the White House because Conor sells too many tickets. They need him to recoup the money that the White House is losing. They're going to have Conor fighting in July, International Fight Week, opponent to be determined. People were saying it's Paredes. That is not the opponent. Maybe it's the trilogy fight. Maybe it's Nate Diaz 3. Conor, Nate Diaz 3, International Fight Week. Last fight for both of them. Bingo, bango, bongo. Somebody wins, somebody loses. They finish out the trilogy off into the sunset together or separately. I'm not going to allege that. You know what I mean? I think that they probably have some mutual respect for each other. They probably also have genuine beef. You know what I mean? So that's the Conor rumor that's coming out, is that he is going to return, that they are in talks, that there have been offers made. Conor is suggesting that he's agreed to these offers that are made. And the big holdup is that, some people, I'm sure Conor would like to fight at the White House, right? And, if you're doing an $18 million gate and they just lost $30 million on the White House, they're trying to get that money back. So if everybody else is doing a $9 million gate and you're doing $18 million, that means they're going to get $9 million to put towards the 30 that they just burnt at the White House, right? You know what I mean? It gets complicated, guys. It's not just what these people are saying in the headlines, right? It's not just Luke Thomas saying, Dana White's doing, he's getting a political favor from Donald Trump. Man, bro, your politics are getting in the way of your vision, man. This is bigger than that. This is like a unifying moment. This is the biggest moment in the sport. This is the pinnacle of what any sports event has ever done in human history. And it's the UFC. And we're all a part of it, man. We're combat sports enthusiasts. We're combat sports practitioners. We're combat sports. You guys claim to be journalists. You kind of sound like haters, but whatever, right? White House card is coming Saturday. Guys, go. I don't know what's on Polymarket, but go on Polymarket. John Jones, Alex Pereira. You heard it here first. If you win money, I want 10%. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's go, guys. We like money around here. Speaking of money, there's been a big $1 million offer made between two influencers who are big time beefing. I'm talking Andrew Tate, Top G, and Sneeko. Sneeko comes to Extreme Couture and he trains with another controversial person called Jake Shields. And man, Sneeko is going in hard on Andrew Tate. Big accusation saying Tate folded to pressure from the powers that be. He's saying that Tate's a sellout. He's saying this. He's barking. He's chirping. He's accusing. He's saying that he's the top G now, that Tate has to, give that title up. Sneeko saying, took that shit, stole that shit. The 6ix9ine meme, stole that shit, right? And he's beefing with Andrew, man. And apparently the rumor is that they offered him $500K to fight Andrew. He turned it down. They offered him $1 million and some points, which is extra money on the pay-per-view. And he turned that down. Yet he's still talking about him, still calling him out, right? Like still egging him on. So either Sneeko's negotiating, trying to keep the beef going to get a bigger payday, a bigger bag, or he doesn't really want to fight him, right? And he just wants to keep the clout going, right? He wants to essentially get clicks and views on Andrew's name without actually scrapping Andrew, right? And, apparently Andrew is kind of over the beef. He hasn't been talking about Sneeko. He's moved on. He's headed over to Iran to go witness the war, I guess. So it's kind of a one-sided beef at this point, but Sneeko may be trying to get a bag, and he might get the bag, and they might actually fight, which is a crazy fight considering Sneeko is fairly like a novice, and Andrew Tate is a 4-time world kickboxing champion. So that might be some free money for you guys to bet on, right? Oh, UFC has partnered with, what is it, Bet365. So they have a betting partner now. They're partnered with Polymarket. Man, the kids at the gym are gambling. When I'm at Extreme Couture, the teenagers are coming up to me like 13, 14 years old telling me about their parlays. Oh, King Dave, man, you got to get with my parlay, bro. I got a 7-teamer. You know what I mean? Marab is going to beat Peter Yan, bro. Blah, blah, blah. If this hits, I'm going to make what? Dude, and then they just lose, bro. Teenagers are losing money on Polymarket. It's getting wild. It's getting out of control, man. Speaking of Gen Zers and Zoomers, man, are the rumors true? Are the rumors true? Has Clavicular been jester gooning? Has he been jester gooning, bro? Or is he jester maxing? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the questions that people have, right? What's Clavicular up to? Jester maxing or jester gooning, right? Is he allowing his cortisol to spike? Right? What does he do if the Foids approach, right? And they're trying to spike his cortisol. Like, what's Clavicular going to do here? And people are debating this online like it's an actual debate. And the, Gen X take is supposed to be, it's not a debate. It's idiotic. And my take is, it's obvious what he's supposed to do. You never spike your cortisol. Like, what's the debate? There's no debate. Never spike your cortisol, guys. Jester Max or Jester Goon, doesn't matter. Foids or not. You know what I'm saying? Don't spike your cortisol. Don't let them spike your cortisol. In the event you go hang out with the ASU frat leader and you get frame mogged, bro, can't spike your cortisol. He can't even mog you if your cortisol doesn't spike, bro. And his cortisol might spike if yours doesn't spike and you reclaim the frame, right? And maybe he's got wider shoulders, right? But like, your presence frame mogged him. You get what I'm saying? No cortisol spikes. We're ascending in 2026. I know that's not the take that you guys are expecting, right? But that's the truth. That's what you do here, right? How am I the only one that's able to explain this to everybody, right? What should Clav do? Dude, don't let your cortisol spike, bro. This is obvious, guys. I'm sure you guys realize this too, right? But we got to let the memers know, right? It's obvious to me and you that you never let your cortisol spike, right? But these guys are, what should he do? Should he talk to the Foids, right? Or blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, the answer's obvious. It's the number one rule. It's the number one rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even believe these people are making memes about it. So yeah, man, it's getting crazy out here. Dude, like, at least know your subject matter. If you're gonna make the meme, then you gotta know what the actual answer is, right? Like, if it's a genuine question, I get it, but come on, man. It's pretty obvious, guys. I mean, speaking of obvious things, Felony's gonna KO a guy in April. His next BKFC fight, he just landed in Vegas. We trained together today. Man, he tried to take my head off, you know? Tried to take my head. Let me take a drink of this 120 milligram caffeinated Zevia at 11 p.m. at night. Ah, delicious and caffeinated. You know, that's the combo we're looking for. So I heard a rumor that when Felony KOs this dude in 30 seconds, which is the plan, and I expect him to do that because he's told me he's going to do that, and he and I have a very good relationship in regards to, like, I can tell, I know, I spar him every day. I know what he's capable of. He spars me every day. He knows where I'm pushing him to. And when I get him to that point to where I'm able to push him to that point, and he's that capable, dude, listen, so he says he's going to knock him out in 30 seconds. That's the goal. Felony Charles Bennett by KO, over or under 30 seconds. That's the money line right there. And I heard that he might be in title contention for the BKFC belt. This, you guys are hearing this first. This is first, right? This is why you got to be on the lives with me, right? Because by the time I replay this, people are already going to be talking about Felony, right? They're already going to be talking about it. I'm giving you guys the inside scoop first. That's why you're here. So shout out to everybody on the stream right now. Man, hit the chat. Say what's up. Make sure you turn your notifications on, guys. We're not playing games. This is 2026. We're all ascending. Notifications on. Bang that bell. That way you can hop on the live with me. Hit the chat. You know? We can have a dialogue. We have a combo. So Felony's already looking sharp. He's way, way, way ahead of where he was the last time he came out to Vegas because he was starting at kind of borderline zero when he came out to Vegas last time. And, you know, he was sick. He got sick on the plane when he landed here. There was a weather change. He was sick from the plane or whatever. So he didn't even start training for several days. And when he started training, his lungs were all full of, like, phlegm and everything. And, you know, it was challenging getting through the first few rounds. Now, today he did like 8 or 10 rounds straight up. Just first day back, right? So that's a huge leap in starting point. So we're going to get him to the point where he's going to be freaky cardio shape for this next fight. And man, this Hawaiian dude in Hawaii who's going to tell all his people to pull up is going to be sadly disappointed when Felony lands on him. Felony's going to disappear like Nightcrawler. Bang! And just this. I told everybody this the last fight. I said, listen, you guys go look at Felony's record. Listen, some of those fights, he's just like a day out of jail, right? Some of those fights, he's got to pay a lawyer, right? Like, he's doing things for reasons that were not necessarily like, oh, because he's in the best shape and he's going to go fight, right? Now, Felony's pulling up in shape. And you saw what he did the last fight. Viral KO, 16 million views, broke the guy's jaw. And this fight, the goal is 30 seconds. You heard it here first. 30 seconds, get a title shot in that order. All right, guys. And, you know, I don't even know if I should talk about this next one. But my ex-roommate used to work at Hooters, and she is power slapping this weekend. She won the Tough Enough amateur title, and now she's a pro power slapper. So I don't think she can go back to amateur. Tough Enough wanted her to defend the belt. Man, she has other aspirations. It's called getting paid to get hit. Or if she hits first, she slaps first, she might not get hit. But man, it's crazy. And any female watching this that trains martial arts can relate. They're like, every single dude at the gym was in her DMs. I'm talking. She and I have trained together at multiple gyms, right? So I'm not going to specify what gym this was at when she was showing me her DMs. But it was like literally multiple world champions the strength and conditioning coach is like DMing her about like, hey, we should squat together sometime. The up and coming UFC prospect is like, hey, I'll hold mitts for you sometime. We should hang out. The UFC fighter that smokes a bunch of weed is like, hey, you should pull up and smoke some weed with me. Like every dude is in her DMs. It was like every dude. So it's pretty crazy to see how that manifests itself. And so, guys, if you are going to hit on the chick at the gym, just know that there are probably world champions in her DMs, and you got to come correct, bro. You just got to come correct, right? You got to come correct. These are the days and times we're living in. Not to mention, if a female goes and power slaps, that gets 100 million views for a lot of these reels. Every dude on the planet essentially is going to see it. She's going to have full-on legitimate celebrities in her DMs now. There's going to be like oil sheiks trying to fly her to Dubai, you know, like big money. I have another friend. She power slaps as well, and man, the amount of money she makes on her freaking own. She's a multi-millionaire. Power slap is like a lead generation system for dudes that want to get beat up and slapped into her OnlyFans. It's you people can be critical, man. I like to look at the genius of the marketing, right? She's got a full-on lead generation system. Every dude that's into that like weird whatever is watching these girls slap each other, and then he's DMing like, hey, I'd love to get slapped by you. And she's like, hey, I only talk to dudes that are on my OnlyFans. And then boom, they slide on to the OnlyFans, and now she's making money, bro, balling. When I tell you balling. So if you guys want to get some money on the internet without doing OnlyFans, DM me, man. I got the blueprint. It's called Paid to Post. I'm going to show you how I get paid to post. I'm going to show you how my girlfriend gets $1,000 a TikTok reel without showing her ass. She's smart. She's doing like genius level TikToks. Now, I know those are contradictory words, but like her whole thing is like she's smoking hot and smart, like a genius. I'm talking like taught herself English and then like scored nearly perfect on the SATs in English after teaching herself, and it's not her native language. You know what I'm saying? She's got a 4.0 at an Ivy League school. It's not her native language. She's literally teaching English to English people, like to Americans. It's like crazy, bro. Crazy genius. I'm sure you got to get paid to post. DM me. And if you know a gym owner, man, send them to Studio Millions, bro. Just send them there. They'll thank you later. So tonight we covered a lot. I was shooting and doing a quick 30 minutes. Looks like we're a little bit over 30. Dana White has got big beef at the White House. Man, I want to see how this Eddie Hearn and Dana beef turns out, right? Because I really think that this is kind of crazy for Tom Aspinall to have teamed up with Eddie Hearn now. It's like, bro, why upset your boss? It's like crazy to me, dude. It's crazy. It's the same thing. We're not going to get political because we know we never spike our cortisol. All politics is jester, right? But as a learning concept, when Sneeko is upset at Andrew Tate for going on what Sneeko calls an apology tour, because Sneeko thinks there's these powers that be that control the world. Bro, if you really believe that, why are you upsetting them? Like if you don't have the political power world, I don't mean like influence. I mean like actual global power. Like, you know, Trump, Putin, dudes like this. If you're not one of those dudes, you're not in conversation. If you don't like own a central bank, you're not in the conversation, dude. So all you're doing is banging on people who don't even have to listen to you, or it's crazy, man. And Sneeko's over here saying that Andrew Tate should do stuff different. Bro, anyway, man, we're living in crazy town, right? So Tom Aspinall signed with Eddie Hearn over some beef with Dana. And he's just escalated the beef on himself, man. Dana's already upset about the eyes, right? Dana's upset about the eyes. Michael Bisping fought with one eye, right? So we know, I'm not saying that everybody should do that or everybody's capable of getting there mentally to do that, but that's what a lot of these guys do, bro. They're really about that life. And I think I hope Eddie Hearn gave Tom Aspinall big bad money, man. Because things about to get rough, guys. So, anyways, I'm looking forward to the White House card announcement. Alex Pereira, John Jones for a BMF belt. You heard it here first. Tap, subscribe, turn on the notifications, like, comment. I love you guys. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.